Hello, students. Welcome to the commercial studies classes after summer vacation. Hope all of you are healthy and safe at your homes and studying properly. We had already completed 6 chapters, and last time I had discussed about partnership. Now we are moving to next chapter, which is joint stock company. So, what is a joint stock company? The joint stock company is a voluntary association of individuals for profit, having a capital divided into transferable shares, the ownership of which is the condition of membership. So basically, a joint stock company is like a big firm which has a separate legal existence, and there is more flexibility than partnership to include new members who are actually owners of the firm. So many have defined joint stock company. So an artificial being, invisible, intangible, and existing only in the eyes of law. It is such a person which is existent in the eyes of law, and all its members who are the owners of the firm are treated as proprietors of the firm. So they share the properties and assets of the firm. So by going through features, we will understand more about joint stock company. So let's see the features. So first feature is separate legal existence. A company has a separate legal entity in the eyes of law. So it is treated as a person in the eyes of law. What a person is capable of doing can be done by a company also. Like what a person can do, a person can own property, make contracts, and file suits in its own name. So, company has all the facilities like this, and they can do whatever a person, an individual living person can do economically. I will discuss a small case of Salomon versus Salomon and Company Limited, which actually demonstrated how a company is different from its owners and how it has a separate legal existence. So Salomon and Salomon Company Limited case tells you more about that. So Salomon formed a company which acquired his own shoe business. So Salomon was having a shoe company, a shoe business earlier, which was a firm, and it was converted into a joint stock company. And Salomon kept all shares in his name, excepting 6 shares which he distributed among its family members. Again, he also purchased debentures issued by the company, that is Salomon and Company Limited company. So when the company was winding up, that means when company was going to liquidation, all the company was going to be dissolved, then Salomon decided to pay the debentures first, which was purchased by himself, before paying to the outside creditors. I will tell you in short what is a debenture. Debenture is an instrument which is issued by a company to borrow loans from the market. Like share is issued and it is bought by the shareholders, a debenture is also issued and bought by debenture holders. But there is some difference between share and debenture. A share is a part of the company's capital, a small part, but a debenture is a mere loan to the company by the debenture holder, against which a fixed rate of interest is paid to the debenture holder by the company each year before distributing dividend. So debenture was issued by the company, and Salomon purchased the debentures. So creditors, outside creditors, excepting then Salomon himself, argued that at first their dues should be paid before the debenture is redeemed, which is already owned by the owner himself. But the court found that the existence or the entity of company is different from the owner, so debenture has to be paid first. This is a very big example of separate legal entity feature. So a company is different from its members, owners, controllers. It has a separate legal entity like a person. Again, next point is perpetual succession. A company is created by law and only the law can bring end to its existence. So its life does not depend on the life of its member. The death, insolvency, or lunacy of members does not affect the life of a company. So it goes on. It continues in life whether its members or owners are changing or are transferring their ownership to other members, whatever, the perpetual succession of the company must go on. Third point is very important: limited liability for the purpose for which companies are generally made. That limited liability, companies, creators, or companies, loan providers, finance providers can only claim up to the assets of the company. Personal assets of the shareholders are not affected by the dues or finances by the company. Then comes transferability of share. Like in partnership, a partner cannot transfer its share in the firm to any other person without informing other partners, but shares can be transferred and it is transferable in nature, so it can be bought and sold. And so why share market operates, because shares can be sold or bought without informing the company by which the share is issued. Again, common seal, as the company is has a separate legal entity, but it is not a person, so it has a common seal as a sign of approval on the documents which it brings into existence by contracts or by any legal suit. So a common seal is maintained, so why the so that a seal can be put on the document as a authentication by the company. Again, separation of ownership and control. Ownership and control of a company is totally different from the owners. So, owners is different from the company. So, if any dispute occurs, the outsiders are liable to sue the company and not the members of the company. Again, voluntary association, anyone cannot be forced into joining a company, so it is a voluntary association which is voluntary made by the members. It is a artificial legal person in the eyes of law, so it will be treated as such, and always law treats company as a physical body or natural human being. It can be fined, it can be sued. So these are the, again, corporate finance. The share capital of a company is divided into small value shares, and that can be issued, and from there the capital can be collected. Again, a company is subject to statutory regulations and controls. It has to report and show and follow the norms of the country's corporate laws. It has to file documents, and it has to maintain several legal formalities each year with the registrar of companies. The accounts must be audited every year, a annual general meeting must be held. So all these are statutory regulations and controls over company. As a company is a legal person, but it doesn't have any uh, human body like a human being, so it cannot operate on itself. So several laws has been made so that the company can run flawlessly. So that's all. These are the features and meanings of company. So go through it, and this is very important. This is into your syllabus, and this can come in exam also. What are the features of a joint stock company in 5 marks, and the definition can come in 2 marks. So memorize all these points, and what are the contents of the point. You have to also remember that in short. Thank you very much.